Oh! Alright, let's give some time for folks to roll in. Whew. I should take y'all around the block with me for 5 minutes. I'm not gonna do that. Yo, 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 yo. It's your boy, the insurance junkie, your fiduciary fella, the all-star advisor Alonzo Hall, your social media insurance broker, and I've returned today to whap and tap on your head with another ADH wealth solution. Today, I have a PowerPoint presentation called a financial primer. And it's 12 tips to help you secure your financial future. So I might show you guys the slides from my tablet, but I'll probably just read them. Before I go in, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you hit that like, drop a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're made aware every time I release new content. And as always, share, share, share. Lastly, to contribute to channel growth or to schedule an appointment with a licensed financial professional, the links are in the description of this video. So as we proceed to give you what you need, as we start here, a financial primer, 12 tips to secure your financial future. So, if we go through the pages here, let's start with your earning power. So what is your earning power? Well, your earning power is your ability to earn an income, which when insurance agents ask you this question, most people answer that question by saying, when a financial advisor asks, hey, what's your biggest asset? 9 times out of 10, most Americans are going to say, my house. Because that's their most expensive item that they've purchased. But your house, if it still has a mortgage, is not yet an asset. Because even though you can sell it and possibly get a profit, you still have the obligation of the mortgage. So your biggest asset is always your ability to earn an income. And people vastly underprotect that by not getting things like disability insurance. But let's continue. Few people realize that a 30-year-old couple will earn $3.5 million by the age of 65 if their total family income averages $100,000 a year for their entire career without any raises. Okay, so your earning power is broken down into 4 quadrants. Your income, other income like alimony or passive income, your investment income, and then your spouse's income, right? So how much would you earn in a lifetime, right? So if you earn, let's say you earn $50,000 a year and you got 5 years till you're age 65, you'd earn $250,000 in that 5 years. If you are 25 and you've got 40 years until you're 65, you'd earn a total of $2 million, earning only $50,000 a year. So most Americans end up becoming millionaires for the simple fact that, you make it over time, right? We just don't think of it because we see people living lavish and spending lump sums at once. Just like investing. Investing is to be done in a lump sum, not in small increments. Just like outside of America, most countries don't have a mortgage. You can't pay for a house over the course of 30 years. That's an entire lifespan. You can pay for it maybe in 5 years and they'll expect a balloon payment at the end. But there's no 30-year mortgage in many places outside of the USA. Excuse me. So, the question is, What will you do with your earning power, and what will you have to show for it in the future? So now you've got some choices here. And again, this is all the slides in my PowerPoint presentation. By the way, I'm having a webinar June 7th about should you rent or buy. I'm going to have a mortgage guy there. He's going to be talking about mortgages. We're keeping it simple. I'm not going to the collateral assignments or anything like that. I'll do those on one of my personal webinars, and I'll probably charge a fee for that because that's some high-level information. And fortunately, yet unfortunately, I have, well, fortunately for you guys, my subscriber base, because you guys are the guys who have been telling me, yo, Lonzo, like, we love the info that you're giving, but we just wish that you would charge money. All these other people charge money for their webinars and for their courses. You should too, because you're giving us great knowledge, right? And a lot of you guys, meaning my subscriber base, you guys who are watching right now, are like, yo, Alonzo, I'll pay to come learn this information. You got to start charging people to come learn this information. So due to some of you guys, my subscriber base, I will be charging for my webinars just because it is valuable information, and you guys said you're willing to pay for it. So if you guys are willing to pay for it and you already get a lot of information here for free, I know a bunch of people who haven't found me who are willing to pay for this information. So it says the choices. The fact of the matter is that you're the only one who can decide what to do with your earning power and, by extension, with your life. The two are inextricably linked. Decisions on what you want to do with your earning power come from answering questions such as, where do I want to live? Do I want to own my own home? Where do I want that home to be? What kind of home do I want? These are actually questions that a lot of people don't ask, even when they go searching for a house. Right? When you go looking for a house, don't leave it all on the real estate agent. When I was a real estate agent, I used to tell my clients, listen, I got some homework for you. I need you to independently drive around this neighborhood, or in New York City, walk around this neighborhood, take the bus around it, see if you like the neighborhood. Right? Because the house might be nice, but you might not like the neighborhood. And what I mean by that is, it might be a good neighborhood, but there might be, late at night coyotes come out and you don't like to hear coyotes. Or, it might be a good neighborhood, but you're, deep out in the woods and raccoons come to the trash can. Or it might be a good neighborhood, but it's off the beaten path and it's off the highway, so it's really not a great place for you to have your kids coming out and play in the front yard, even though it's a good neighborhood. Those are things you want to ask. And a lot of people who buy homes don't even consider those questions. What's my commute going to be like? Is it the same during the daytime as it is at night? Because most people go to open houses to shop for a house on the weekend. So you're going on Saturday or Sunday, right? Or maybe even Friday night. A lot of activity is going to be different. Like where I live, there's 2 nightclubs. It's annoying as fuck. It was cool when I was 20, but I'm 40. I don't go to the nightclub anymore. So it gets annoying on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night to hear woo, ah, and all the club shit. Right? But let's continue with the article or the presentation. What kind of lifestyle do I want to have? Vacations, entertainment, and leisure activities. And what about the automobiles that I want to have? Right? These are things that questions people ain't asking themselves when they're coming up with their finances. There's always, I want a nice house, I want a nice car. What nice house? What nice car? Right? Like me, I like Mercedes-Benz, right? But the biggest Benz I'll get, I won't get an S-Class. because an S class to me is too big and ridiculous. I like an E class. I also like the CLA, the small Mercedes, right? So for me, driving a luxury car doesn't mean just any Benz, right? Because I don't want an S class. It's like a limo. So if somebody gave me an S class, I'd be like, no, thank you. But if you give me an E class, I'll take it. Do I want to pay the bill for my kids to attend college? Do I want them to go to public or private school? Do I want to start my own business someday? Do I want to reach an age by which I can afford to stop working if I want? And this is what that a lot of black folks struggle with. Do I want to live strictly for today, strictly for tomorrow, or enjoy today while still providing for tomorrow? I prefer the latter. I think you should enjoy today while planning for tomorrow. I don't think it makes sense to do what a lot of these people are saying and just hoard for the future, because life is not promised for anyone. So you don't know that you will have that future. So while it does make sense to plan for that future, it also makes sense to enjoy some of your shit today. And the reality is, hey, Enya, the reality is that you should enjoy some of your shit today. All these financial people who tell you just hoard it for the future are fucking lying to you, because all these financial people, in order to make you give them their money, have to come out with these labels. Right? You don't think I wear Calvin Klein white t-shirts for no... Well, I do wear Calvin Klein specifically. Only Calvin Klein t-shirts for a reason. I like the way they fit on my body. But you don't think I bought a Mercedes for no reason, right? Look, here. You think I just bought a Benz? Well, yeah, partially because I like Benz. But you think I just bought a Benz because I wanted to have a Benz? I bought a Benz because it's marketing. Because when I drive down the street, people are always like, man, that's a nice car. I'll give you guys a story before I keep going. So, shout out to K Business Podcast, or Business Connections with K. Shout out to Coach K. He's one who does multiple streams of income. And he was like, yo, man, on the side, you should do like Uber or something. And I was like, nah, man, I'm a financial advisor. That seems crazy. Until my homeboy, who drives a Ferrari regularly, but I was over here and I ordered an Uber ride. This was before I got my car. And he came and picked me up in his Lexus. But like I said, normally he drives a Ferrari. He works at a hedge fund. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing driving Uber? He was like, dude, we're in sales. I was like, yeah. He's like, what? How the fuck do you think I'm supposed to meet people? Twiddling my thumbs? No, I come out here, I drive Uber, I run into people, and I'm over here by Yale. What do you think kids at Yale have? They have parents that have money, and they are future money earners. So, me working at a hedge fund, it's smart for me to drive Uber and make friends with people in the Yale area in Connecticut. I was like, that makes sense. So the other day I was driving Uber Eats, and I was making a pickup from Popeyes in the hood. And this older lady walking up to me, she goes, man, that's a nice car. You making all that money from delivering food? I said, no, ma'am, I actually sell life insurance. I just do this on my spare time so I can do things like this and meet you. Do you have a business card? No, I don't carry a card. I'll tell you what, give me your phone number. I'll give you, and I'll text you my information. So I texted her. She said, yeah, I actually need life insurance. So I texted her. I said, hi, Miss Smith. This is Alonzo Hall, the insurance agent that you met outside of Popeyes with the Benz. Right? So it drums up business for me. Same reason my cousin, when he opened his barbershop, he bought the Infiniti Q50 Coupe. Because now people see you in this fancy car and they're like, oh, he must be doing something. I'm doing nothing different than what I've been doing. But now I have something to quote unquote show for it. Right? I probably would have got a Benz anyway, because I like Mercedes, and I've liked them since a kid when my grandmother bought me a ring that was a Mercedes-Benz logo. And so for that, I've always wanted to be able to take my grandmother on a ride in a big body Mercedes-Benz. And obviously I was able to do that. So those are some of the choices that you want to consider or ponder when you're actually setting up your financial future, right? If you think about those things, you can actually have a clear picture and a goal, right? If you just say, hey, I want a fancy car, that's cool. But like I said, what car do you want? Like I said, my fancy car that I want by 2026, I want to be able to purchase a Mercedes-Benz AMG GT63 four-door coupe. That's a very specific car. That has a very specific price. When I went to the Benz dealership to first lease a car, they actually put me in a GT53 AMG, and that was $125,000. I said I need a car about $100,000 less. They said, well, you can leave the dealership. This is Mercedes. What do you think you're doing? Right? Then I got this puppy off of their used car lot instead of the new Mercedes lot. But if you think of life as a journey, answers to questions such as these become your destinations on the journey to life. So now remember, people don't plan to fail, they fail to plan. So taking control of your finances and your financial future can help you to reach your desired destinations in life. With that in mind, what follows are some hints that you may find helpful as you plan for a secure financial future. A future that enables you to live in ways that you choose to live. So step one is to pay yourself first. Now, a lot of people who sell life insurance, I'm one of them. I sell life insurance, as you know. Will tell you that buying a life insurance policy is paying yourself first. Technically, it is, right? A lot of people who sell life insurance will also tell you that life insurance is an investment, which it is not. Life insurance is absolutely, unequivocally not an investment. Now, here's the problem. When it gets shown to you properly, I was actually sitting with a client 2 days ago. And I showed him an insurance policy. I showed him the numbers. He was like, "Oh, that's an investment." When he looked at the numbers, I was like, "No, it's not an investment. It's an insurance." Child, please, what's going on? Let me give you a wrench here. So we came to the conclusion, that it is an asset class, right? But I had to explain, insurance is not an investment. Popcorn was popping. Hold on, let me put this channel as a moderator too. Right? So, step one is you want to pay yourself first. Like I said, a lot of insurance agents will say some shit like, well, buying a whole life insurance policy is paying yourself first. And while I make fun of that, technically they're telling the truth. But let's see what the experts say. Because this was a presentation, ironically enough, created by the lawyers and compliance department at an insurance company. I'm not going to say the name of the insurance company, and that's why I'm not showing y'all this. Because last time I did that, I got in trouble with the compliance department of one of the insurance companies. They actually emailed me and forced me to delete my video, or they was going to sue me and all this other stuff, and I didn't. Even though I still work with them, I still give them business, and they still pay me. They was about to sue me, so I was like, all right. So, child, please, here's the thing. No product is better than any other, right? You'll hear all these guys. So what happens is the insurance guys, right? They all, and I'm an insurance guy too, don't get me wrong. But insurance guys, they all get their favorite product. My favorite product is the IUL. Notice I said my favorite product. Because what you'll have is you'll have these term-only guys who are usually guys who work with a company that can only sell term insurance, or they don't understand the rest of the products and they want to just sell you investments, but they bash whole life or index universal life. Those term only guys are lying to you. Then you have the whole life only guys who tell you term life is trash and IULs are trash. And they just want to push whole life. And they'll tell you infinite banking is supposed to be done of whole life. And they are lying to you. And then you'll have guys like me who love the IUL. But I'm not an IUL guy who's going to run and tell you, even though I've said whole life is garbage and term is garbage in the past, I'm not going to run around and be like, don't buy term life insurance, don't buy whole life insurance, they're garbage, just get an IUL. I'm an individual who's licensed, so I can sell all of the products. So the best product is the product that fits you and your particular needs. For example, I have a client who is 45 years old. He has no wife, and he says, so basically everyone's trying to make it. Yes, everyone's trying to make a buck, right? Now you have people like me. Shit, I'm trying to make a buck too, but I'm also trying to help you, right? And why shouldn't I be paid for the work I put in, right? The guy at McDonald's gets paid for his work. But what it is whatever product is best for your situation. So I'll give you an example. I'll give you a couple examples. I have a client who is 43 years old. He has no wife. He has no kids. But he has $3.2 million of a death benefit. Right? And he's paying $70,000 a year into this life insurance policy. Why? And it's an index universal life insurance. Why? Because we sat down, we went over a situation, and due to the things we went over, his numbers, his goals, A, B, C, X, Y, Z, we found this product to be the best for him. Now, I have another client who's a woman. No husband, no kids, but she has a house. She wanted to make sure that if something happened, the mortgage was paid off and it would be left to her nieces and nephews. But she also wanted some cash value accumulation. Well, that wasn't possible with the number that we needed for her death benefit to cover the mortgage. So she couldn't get an IUL because an IUL doesn't have an option to combine the two. So what she got was a term perm blend. So she got a whole life with some term insurance added to it. So she got a small whole life so she can build some cash value. And then she got a big term life. And then earlier last year, what we did was we took some of that term life and we converted it into an IUL. So now she has all three. She has whole life, term life, and IUL. Right? I have another client who's 50 years old, whose daughter wanted to get him some life insurance. And she was going to pay for it. So I said, okay, what you're not going to do is you're not going to pay a lot of money for this policy. So what you're going to do is you're going to get a 30-year term on your dad. If he lives to 80, then you can get him some final expense. But right now, I don't want you spending more than $150. You got other things to worry about. At any rate, ladies and gentlemen, if you're enjoying the content, make sure you hit that like, drop a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're made aware every time I release new content. And as always, share, share, share. Lastly, to contribute to channel growth or to schedule an appointment with a licensed financial professional, the links are in the description of this video. So, number one, you want to pay yourself first. So to put it another way, you want to spend less than you earn. So this is the most basic financial rule. You'll never get ahead financially if you spend more than you earn, which is like 90% of Americans, right? We live paycheck to paycheck. Oh, shit. Fucking pigeon just flew on my car. I just freaked out because, oh, shit. Most Americans live paycheck to pay because my sunroof was open, so I didn't want it fucking pooping on my head or landing on my head. But most Americans live paycheck to paycheck because we also live off the credit card. I'll put it on my credit card. Put it on my credit card. Now we're paying interest on shit on gas, right? The craziest shit ever. So it says turn saving and investing into a regular fixed monthly expense. Now this is why you'll hear life insurance guys say buying a whole life insurance policy is like paying yourself, because buying a whole life insurance policy technically is a form of a forced savings account because of the cash value component. Now, there's ways to properly buy life insurance. You got to come to my class for $9,999 a minute for that. I got to scan my doggone self. Don't stop paying your credit cards. Stop using them. Right? Or play 3 card Monty. Right? So 3 card Monty. You get a card. Well, it depends on the level that your cards are at right now. So you can do one of a couple of things, right? But you don't want to stop paying your cards. So you can do the process of elimination. So if you're gonna take that credit hit, do it like this. Your lowest balance, knock that bitch off. Right? Forget the other. Let's say you got 4 cards or 3 cards. Fuck the 2 highest balances, right? Let's say you got a Discover, an Amex, and a Visa. Right? Well, the Amex, you can't skip payments. That's how you have an Amex, because you pay that balance off in full every month. Right? But this is going to be the idea. Let's say you got a MasterCard, a Visa, and a Discover. And your Visa is your highest balance, and your Discover is your lowest balance. This is what is called the 3 card Monty. Well, no, this is part of the 3 card Monty, I should say. So you pay off the lowest card, bam. Now that one's empty. Now you leave that one alone. Now you start on the second card. Bam. Once that's paid off, now you pay on the third card. Bam. Now that's paid off, right? And what you're going to do is whatever the payment was for the lowest card, you flip, and now you put that towards the payment on the middle card. Now you're paying off the middle card faster, because whatever you was paying on the lowest card, you're now paying on the middle card. And then same thing with the third card. So if you paid $100 a month on the lowest card, $200 a month on the middle card, and $300 on the top card, you're gonna first pay $300 on the low card, nothing on the middle card, and $300 on the high card. Once you pay off the high card, now you're gonna take that $300. You're gonna play catch up with the middle card, right? You're gonna put the $300 toward the middle card. Bam, right? So now you're putting $300 toward the middle card, $300 toward the high card. Now the middle card's paid off. Now I want you to take $600 and put it toward the high card, right? Bam, bam, bam. Now that card is paid off. Now you play 3 card Monty. So what's 3 card Monty? Well, the Discover is January. I'm going to use the Discover all January. That's the only card I use in January. Bam, bam, bam. Right? At the end of January, I pay the bitch off. Completely. Or you can actually make payments throughout the month. You don't have to make 1 or 2 payments. People tell you, oh, you can make a payment every fucking day if you want. Now, they might charge you a fee for paying, right? But make them do fucking work, because they don't report to the credit agencies as often as you think, right? And they might not submit the payment when your shit is due, so it might come up late to them. So if you make a payment, if you use the card January 3rd and pay it on January 4th, fuck it. Yeah, I got a bunch of content, man. Listen to it all. Actually, let me see if I got the link. I should put the link for my my webinar in here. But so now you're playing 3 card Monty, right? So now, bam, you pay off card 1, right? Now, January, every time you use the card, make a payment on it, right? So if your minimum payment is $25 and you use $32 on that card, pay $25, right? Now you've used what? $7 on the card. So now you're only paying interest on $7. But you're going to avoid interest if you keep the balance paid the fuck off. Uh, no doubt. Well, as you know, I'm unorthodox, right? I'm an insurance agent, financial advisor. 2008, 3 days before Mother's Day, I got chopped 5 times in front of my mother in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, right? I call myself 25 cent because I got shot half as many times as 50. I tell people I smoke, I spit, I curse, I listen to gangster rap. But I thank you for appreciating the content, right? I guess you could call my bluntness a barrier of entry for people, right? But if you from Miss Queen, you familiar with niggas keeping it real, right? So that's ironic. I've had a lot of dudes from the streets tell me, "Yo, man, the way you give this information across is understandable," and I was like, "I appreciate that." I don't know why I relate to street dudes so well, but I by no means a street dude. I mean, I was out there, doing my wannabe thug shit like we all did as youngins. But now I'm 40 years old. I don't give a fuck. I mean, listen, man. I wasn't no fucking thug. I was out there wanting to be a thug. I was out there gang banging, wearing bandanas, set claiming. And I was doing that shit hard. Right? But let's continue. So, turn saving and investing into a regular fixed monthly expense, just like your rent or mortgage payment or a car payment. Again, this is why a lot of life insurance guys recommend using life insurance as a form of paying yourself first, because it does become a bill, but the money is actually being saved. Consider having a fixed amount automatically deducted from your paycheck or checking account each month and placed into a savings account or investment plan. As your salary increases, consider increasing the amount you automatically save and invest each month, right? Because think about this, y'all. When you're saving for retirement, the max you can put into a 401k is $23,000 in 2024. If you can afford to put away $23,000 a year and still live comfortably, that means that in 40 years, $23,000 a year, unless it's growing by 100%, meaning it's doubling every year, unless you're getting 100% ROI, return on investment. So just so you understand, in order for you to double your money, you'd have to get a 200% return. If you invest $100, to get a 100% return means that you earned another $100. That's not a 50% return, right? So that's a 100% return. Right? That's how you double your. I'm sorry, that's a 200% return. Right? A 100% return would be half of your money. So if you invested $100 and you got back $50, that's a 100% return. A 200% return is doubling your money. So a 200% return is I put in 100 and now I'm up to $200. That's a 200% return. That's how you actually double. A 50% return would be you getting $25 off of that 100. So when investor guys are online scam you, we got 84%. Well, damn, that sounds pretty nice. 84% off. Not as nice as it seems when you understand how it works, right? Because 100% means that you only earn $50, right? So that 84% doesn't mean that you earned $84 on that investment. You see? So it's tricky. In order to double your money, again, you have to earn 200% on your investment. So it's good that people learn investment stuff. This is how you get scammed. I don't even know where I was going with that. My fault. I be smoking weed and going off on tangents sometimes. Right? So anyway, do you know the potential value of saving just $100 each month? So this actually does set you up for a good purchase of life insurance. I'm gonna keep throwing that in there. So as you see here on the chart, right? I know it's hard to see. Plus I got, let me see if I could turn this. Right? So here we go. So do you know the potential value of saving just $100 each month? So the nominal annual interest rate being 5%, over 5 years you would have $6,800, over 10 years 15,005, over 15 years 26,700, and over 20 years you'd have almost $42,000 at a nominal annual APR of 5%. At a nominal APR of 8%, those same numbers would be 73,000, 7,300, 18,000, 34,000, and 58,000. At 10%, those same numbers would be 7,700, 20,400, 41,400, and at the final year, at 20 years, 75,000. So now, think about that the next time you have a kid or a grandkid or a niece or a nephew. And instead of giving them something at Chuck E. Cheese for their first birthday, get them a life insurance policy that you pay $100 a month into for 10 years. Because by the time they're 20, at that interest rate, they'll have probably about $40,000. Right? Now, life insurance does grow at a lower interest rate. So let's say, let's cut that in half. Let's say we cut the interest rate in half to 2.5%, which it won't go that low. Usually life insurance is 4%. But let's cut it to 2.5%. By the time they're 20, they'd still have $21,000. Right? And the protection of life insurance. And the ability to insure themselves again in the future. Okay? Now, again, those are hypothetical numbers. They're not based on any particular investment. But, you know. Number two, you want to develop and stick to a budget. So a sound financial plan doesn't just invest money effectively. It helps you get the money to save and invest in the first place. Right? Because this is a thing. And this is where, especially a lot of black folk, get caught up in all this scammy shit. Oh shit, I got a webinar coming up. Alright, it's coming up in a half hour. Because we're in desperation mode and we're looking to get the next dollar. Where's the next dollar coming from? And so because of that, we don't actually have a budget. And we do shit like buy Wall Street Trappers course. And not only do we buy the course, we don't do shit with the course. We get the course and just let it sit in our email. Oh yeah, I bought that nigga course. And then we either become haters or lovers of them, right? So, a budget is your spending plan. It's a way of tracking your cash flow. Now, keeping track of what's coming in and what's going out, right? So, there's a wide variety of budgeting systems available, some of which are quite simple and others which are really complex. Any budget, however, is going to begin with tracking your income and your expenses over the course of several months, right? So it takes time to develop this shit. This isn't some shit you just do overnight and think, bam, I got a budget. You can sit down with someone like myself, and we actually do have a simple template for you to follow and go over as a budget, right? It actually comes in a PDF form. It's a fillable PDF, so you can erase and refill those numbers, right? So, tracking income is generally quite easy. It's just keeping a record of your paycheck and any other types of income that you receive. And usually through today, that's hella easy to do because we get everything direct deposit, right? So you can literally say, boom, I have X amount of dollars to the penny in this account, X amount of dollars to the penny in that account. Now, if you've been following my content for a while, you might also talk about car cash and having car cash. So if you have car cash, you might not count that in your income, right? Because that's spare money, but you want to count the savings account that you put the car cash into. Now, tracking expenses is obviously going to be more challenging. Obviously, you can use your bill and credit card statements, your checkbook, or cash receipts to track the majority of shit, right? But you got to keep track of the smaller stuff, right? Lunches, movie dates, stuff for the kids. Over the course of a month or two, these little things do add up. Now, expenses tend to fall into one of two categories. Those are non-discriminatory and then, or I'm sorry, non-discretionary and discretionary, right? So non-discretionary expenses are things like rent, food, insurance premiums, car payments, right? These are things that you have to pay every month, right? And you really ain't got no control over it, right? So paying yourself first is a specific amount should actually be categorized as a non-discretionary expense. So this is why things like insurance premiums are things that are like, nope, come hella high water, I've got to pay this. So your insurance premium, your life insurance premium, your car insurance, your rent, your mortgage, your utilities, right? That's shit that you pay no matter what. So you want to make sure you get life insurance, and also you want to make sure that you get what I call paycheck insurance, which is disability insurance, right? Usually disability insurance is really cheap if you go to your car insurance. They'll usually have a form of income protection. State Farm is really good with that. I don't know if all state offers it anymore, but I know State Farm is really good with income protection. I sell income protection. Um, Aflac has some good short-term disability because you need to know how disability works, right? But let's continue. So now let's look at discretionary expenses. So these are things like clothing, going out to eat, traveling, other stuff like that, right? So these are expenses of which obviously you got control over, right? Now, once you understand your discretionary spending, you'll be able to make better lifestyle choices, right? Shit like smoking. That's an expense I incur, right? Not only on my health, but on my wallet, right? So you want to look at those things and start cutting back on those expenditures and using those for your savings and investments. Now, am I saying absolutely stop your vices? Hell the fuck no, right? Like I said, I'm a label whore. I drive a Mercedes Benz. I wear Michael Kors, right? Yeah, Michael Kors makes a lot of menswear. Um, but you know, I still got to put away for a rainy day, right? And even though I put away for a rainy day, I drive a Mercedes Benz and wear Burberry glasses. Speak. Oh shit. Hold up. Uh, Not the cherry off the stove. I vacuum this car. Right. So where was I? So yeah, you can put that more towards your investments, but I'm not saying to stop your whatever. Like I said, I wear Burberry glasses. You know, I went and bought the fucking Mercedes brand eyeglass holder for my car. Right? Nobody's gonna ever see it but me. But that's when my brother was like, "You a bougie nigga." I was like, "Why?" He was like, "You the only nigga I know go buy some $800 shit that nobody's gonna see." I was like, "Well, I'm sure there's a bunch of niggas who have Benzes who have this shit. You just don't see it." So, a basic way of budgeting is to establish and stick to a formula, right? So, one formula is 20% of your income for saving, 20 for investing, and then 20% of your income for discretionary expenses, right? So that's 40%. And then 60% for non-discretionary shit, right? What just happened there? So,
The line number, please.
uh,
Please cancel.
I hit the talk button. That must mean that my shit can dial out. I might roll another J before I go to this course. So the step 3, knowledge is power. Right? Hold on. Like I said, I got it in PowerPoint right now. So step 3, knowledge is power. Become financially literate. While you don't have to become a financial expert, you should develop an understanding of financial concepts, such as the difference between saving and investing. So some people think these are the same thing, but they're not. Right? The focus in saving is on preserving money that you can accumulate over time. Money that is saved is typically stored in low risk vehicles, right? Such as savings accounts or CDs, money market accounts, life insurance, which offer a relatively low turn, but they guarantee the principal and usually also the interest. A savings approach is appropriate for shorter term needs that generally require a higher degree of liquidity, but is generally not the best approach for accomplishing your longer term financial objectives. Investing, on the other hand, emphasizes accumulation through growth. Investment vehicles such as stocks, bonds, and mutual funds involve a greater risk to the principal than do savings vehicles, but also offer a higher return potential and may better guard against inflation. Most financial plans reflect a combination of savings and investments. Now, the magic of compound interest and growth. Compound growth is simply earnings paid on previous earnings. The magic appears over time. To illustrate, let's say we have one person who invests $100 a month for 20 years from 25 to 45 and then invests nothing more for the next 20 years. Assuming an 8% annual return, this person's initial $24,000 event will grow to almost $275,000 by age 65. Another person, however, waits to start investing until 35 and then also invest $100 a month, but for 30 years, from age 30 to 35 to 65. Assuming that this person realizes the same 8% annual return, the amount available at this person's age 65 would be about $149,000. The second person invests more, 36,000, however, over 30 years versus 24,000 over 20 years, but ends up with a good bit less at age 65, 149,000 over 30 years versus 275,000 over 20 years. The morale here is to start saving and investing early, because the person who waits can never catch up to the person who starts saving at a younger age. So, risk and reward. So, first off, let's understand that there is risk in saving and investing. It can't be avoided. You could keep your savings in a mattress, and the mattress could catch on fire, right? So, the key is to understand the different types of risks and the relationship of the risks and the reward. For example, I'm about to roll up another J, right? But for example, savings vehicles typically have no risk of loss of principal, so there's no market risk. Let me turn this car off 1 minute. Also, uh, they have a lack of a ready market when you need the money, right? So there's liquidity risk. Without risk, however, they produce a relatively low return, which means that they may not grow at a rate to keep pace with inflation, meaning keeping your purchasing power, which is why wealthy individuals go into things like the stock market to preserve their purchasing power, right? So it keeps $100,000 at $100,000. Right? If you put $100,000 into the bank in 2020 and left it until 2030, that $100,000 has the spending power of $50,000. But if you put $100,000 into the stock market and it remained $100,000, when you take that $100,000 out, let's say your earnings was 10% and your tax ended up being about 10% that you ended up paying. Oh, I dropped the blimp man. I got some. I should put this somewhere, but this paperwork, I get my shit done at the Benz dealership. I keep papers on my puppy. Right? You know what? Do this. When the next time them lifestyle people be like, hey, look at my Ferrari. Say, can I see some maintenance records? Right? What's this one? How much was this one? What was this? Oh, this was just them changing the tire. This was just $50. Right? There you go. Hold on. Automobile status report, right? Hold on. You see? Automobile status report for Alonzo Hall. Right? 2016 Mercedes-Benz E350. Mileage 82,445. Right? So, I have paperwork. Right? That's how you do that. That's how you settle. That's how you settle it with these false ass falsies. We're gonna call them falsies from now on, right? Uh, Certain fraternities call false claimers clandies, right, or clandestines. If you know, you know, right? So that's crazy, right? I guess I am kind of a street dude to be rolling up on my damn Benz paperwork, right? Um, but let's continue reading on while I'm at it. So, risk and reward, right? So, we already went over that. Okay, so investment vehicles do come with both market risk and liquidity risk, including the risk of losing your principal investment, right? So, this is another thing that a lot of people don't talk about. They always talk about the wins, but never the losses, right? So, the objective is not to eliminate risk. Rather, the objective is to balance risk and return in a way that is consistent with your temperament and financial goals. So what do they mean by temperament, right? Your risk tolerance, right? So again, why do I always talk about your risk tolerance? Because They're talking about temperament because a lot of people are emotional investors. A lot of people invest emotionally and they want to oh my god, this stock is doing bad. I got to pull out of my stocks. I got to pull this money out. The way you're supposed to be doing this shit is with a time horizon. So you don't want to worry about this shit for 20 years. You want to drop it, sit it there. Okay, I'm 35. I ain't trying to worry about this shit until I'm 55. Or I'm 40. I'm not trying to worry about this shit until I'm 60. Right? I'm talking in the realm of my life, right? I'm 40 years old. I know I don't look it. I don't act it neither. Excuse me, I'm tired. And I got to get ready to go to this training. I might be late because I got 15 minutes and I'm rolling a blunt. And go get another Bluntville too. Uh, Kids, don't try this at home. This is for adults only. So, fucking eye itch. Diversification. So, diversification is an investment technique designed to minimize losses from the inevitable market downturn. So, this is one thing a lot of people, again, your stock moles, your Chris Sains, your stock up with Larry Jones, these people, right? Your Wall Street trappers, your your crypto or bust guys, right? I don't even know half of these people's names. There's always a new one popping up, right? Your day trade with John, your buy my options course with Bob, right? Forex with Felix, right? None of these day traders tell you about the need for a margin account to actually trade daily, right? Otherwise, you're trading in someone else's account, which is what they usually do is they pull your money. They get a bunch of you folks to pull money. Then they get 25,000 and then they invest it. And that's how they actually pattern day trade. Or they're paying a commission to or they're paying a commission to someone. Actually. So, diversification, right? Uh When you diversify, you mix a variety of saving and investment vehicles in your portfolio, thus minimizing the impact of a single investment on the overall performance of your portfolio. This can also be known as something called hedging, right? So you'll hear a lot of hedge funds. They always have their hands in multiple things. That's why they're hedging their bets, right? They're so diversified that if something loses, they still win big over here. And they always minimum break even, right? So, the objective of diversification is to ensure that gains offset losses and their portfolio continues to grow in value. Dollar cost averaging. Regardless of what the markets are doing, a constant amount is invested each month, uh, buying more shares when prices are lower and fewer shares when prices are up, resulting in a lower average per share cost over time. Dollar cost averaging enables you to invest through market cycles, flattening out the seesaw effect and taking advantage of a long-term upward trend. Note, diversification and dollar cost averaging strategies do not guarantee positive investment performance or eliminate the investment risk, including the potential loss of principal associated with investing. So while these strategies are viable, they're not bulletproof, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're enjoying the content, make sure you hit that like, drop a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're made aware every time I release new content. And as always, share, share, share. Lastly, to contribute to channel growth or to schedule an appointment with a licensed financial professional, the links are in the description of this video. Oh shit, I just hit my button. Hold on, let me put my visor back up. Alright. So, next is understanding saving and investment vehicles. So, you need to take the time to understand what you're saving and investing in, the potential risks and the rewards, the fees and expenses, and the advantages and the disadvantages. Investment resources. Know where you can turn for advice. Decide whether you want to actively manage your portfolio or whether you prefer to pay an advisor to recommend specific investments as well as make market timing and asset reallocation decisions. 4. You want to establish and monitor your financial goals. So it's not how much money you make, it's what you do with the money you make. Right? So it's a fallacy to equate income with wealth, right? Someone can literally make millions of dollars in a lifetime, but consume it all through spending, putting nothing aside for wealth or accumulation, and end up impoverished. Financial goals are your short, immediate, and long term destinations in life. So, short term goals, excuse me, intermediate. Short term goals are things that you want to accomplish over the next year or so. These examples include things like paying off credit card debt, building an emergency fund, saving for a vacation, or even, a new couch, right? Like I said, rewarding yourself, right? When you create that car cash account, you save that $50 and you're there, you do that 4 times, and now you save up $200, or you do that 5 times and you save up $250 in your separate savings account, your passbook savings account. Meaning you have to go to the branch and physically put money in or pull money out. And that's the only way you can put money in or pull money out of this bank account. Right? So you got your passbook said once you got $250 in there saved up, that's a short-term goal. Boom. Reward yourself. But now it's not, damn, I went to work every week, every Friday, I'm gonna go out. Then it becomes a habit. Just like me and smoking, it's habitual, right? It's a habit for me to sit here and smoke on YouTube or smoke and watch YouTube. Right? But it's a waste of money. Right? There's really no joy I get from this. Intermediate term goals. Right? So generally these encompass financial needs that you want to meet over the next 3 to 10 years. So these can include things like buying a house, starting a business, depending on how old your kids are, paying for their college, right? Since more time is available to meet intermediate goals, a combination of a saving and investment vehicles might be appropriate for this stage. Now, your long term goals, these include retirement planning and, depending on the age of your children, paying for their college. Events that are 10 years or more into the future. With more time to recoup losses from market downturns, money for long term goals can be invested more aggressively, such as in stocks and equity mutual funds. So, when you're breaking down your goals, again, when people are talking investment, this is something that they don't talk about, time horizon, right? So time horizon is, when do I need this money? right? You can't just go into an investment and be like, yeah, man. Like I had somebody who was like, man, I just missed it with AMC. Well, how? Because I sold right before. Well, why did you sell right before? Did you need that money then? This is why people shouldn't be investing. You have no goal with investing. You just want to be, I'm investing. I want to be a point guard for the LA Lakers, so I play NBA 2K, right? So you want to feel like you're doing what the rich do. So I'm investing, but you have no clue what you're doing, right? That's like right now I go out and I want to feel I have to feel manly, so I'm gonna build something, and I go to Home Depot and buy a bunch of plywood and and some drills and some nails and some screws and a hammer. What am I about to build? I don't have the first clue of how to build some shit or of carpentry. I'm building stuff. No, right? There's somebody who does that. Now, am I saying I'm not handy and can't figure something out? No, but I ain't about to go build a house, right? But if I want to feel badly, that's what men do, right? Men build things, right? Or if I was to go, well, I'm going to go work on my car. That's what men, I don't know the first thing about working on cars. I ain't about to work on my car. I'm about to pay somebody to work on my car. I like cars, don't get me wrong. I'll talk to you, oh, that's a big block. Oh, that's a V8 engine. I like it. Listen to it purr. Oh, that's a nice Porsche. Don't mean I'm about to get under the hood, right? So it feels good to say you're investing, but you don't know about your time horizon. And Stock Mo ain't telling you about time horizon. So again, the guy told me he's upset that he sold AMC, and I'm like, well, why? Because right before it came out that and the Wall Street bet shit happened, and everybody was making a couple more dollars. He could have sold then and made a few more dollars, couple of $100, right? And I'm like, whoa. Right? I had another dude who was like, oh, I made this money off of this crypto. I've been doing this since 2017. He told me this in 2020. How much you made off of it? $1,700. Nigga, in 3 years, you've made $1,700. Good night. Right? But this shit is supposed to be going to the moon. Mind you, this isn't just what I'm talking about, which is safe and steady. In 3 years, you made $1,700 off of something and is guaranteed. This is speculative. What I'm telling you, you would have put money in and it would have been guaranteed. This Shiba Inu or Dogecoin or whatever you was putting your money in is all speculative. And right now, the nigga who got the most of it, Sam Bank Friedman, is probably a free man in Israel somewhere. So once you decide on your financial goals, a financial plan then becomes your roadmap for reaching those destinations. A financial plan provides the specifics of when and how much you will set aside, as well as how those funds will be invested. Finally, you need to monitor your financial plan over time. Be prepared to make adjustments as your needs and circumstances change in the future. So, 5 is you want to build an emergency fund. You want to plan for the unexpected. So, you want to be prepared for life's bumps in the road by creating an emergency fund. Ideally, your emergency fund will consist of 6 to 12 months worth of living expenses. At minimum, make at least a 3-month emergency fund for your first short term goal. So, I'm telling you to start much smaller, right? And the reason I'm telling you to start much smaller is because you want to reward yourself along the way, right? It's just like working out or starting with a diet plan, right? If I really start with a diet plan, A diet plan is not, oh, I'm gonna put this packet in my water every day and drink this drink, or I'm gonna drink this tea every day. It's I'm going to actually be conscious of what I consume and work out and things like that, right? I'm not gonna eat fucking ho hos and McDonald's every day, or takeout every day. I'm not gonna eat ham hocks and fried food every day, right? I'm gonna eat something wholesome, some grains, some vegetables, stuff like that. But if I'm used to eating fried stuff every day, I can't just cut it all out and eat spinach every day either, because I'll start that and I will crash and burn and go right back to the fried food, right? So you slowly implement it. So that's why I say start with $250, right? Then once you get to 250, double it, save up another 500. Now you got 750. Now once you got that, save up another 1,000. Now you've actually saved up 1,750 yourself. Now once you do that, double it again, save up 2,000, right? So be prepared for life's bumps in the road by creating an emergency fund. Ideally, your emergency fund will consist of 6 to 12 months worth of living expenses. At a minimum, make at least a 3-month emergency fund for your short-term goal. Since your emergency fund needs to be quickly available to meet unexpected expenses, such as a major car repair or replacing a major appliance, it's generally best to place these funds in a safe, liquid savings vehicle, such as a money market account. Without a safe, liquid emergency fund, you can end up cashing in investments, or worse yet, racking up credit card debt to pay for life's sudden, unexpected financial emergencies. Tip 6: distinguish between needs and wants. So learn to make useful trade offs. Needs are the essentials of life, like food, clothing, transportation, and housing. Wants are not the necessities, but they do enhance the quality of life. Saving and investing isn't an all or nothing position between needs and wants, but rather requires a balancing act. For example, we need food to survive, but we don't have to eat out 5 nights a week. In order to keep your financial roadmap on course, you may opt to purchase a used car instead of a new one. It goes without saying that clothing and housing options vary widely in their costs, and it's not only a question of denying yourself the luxury of life. Instead, indulge yourself occasionally, but only after you're paying yourself first each month. So, that's another quick way that you can save up your 250. If you just save $25 a week out of your paycheck, right? Or $25 per pay period. So if you get paid weekly, that is $25 a week. Well, yeah, $25 a week. So if you get paid bi-weekly, it's $50. You get paid once a month, a whole $100, right? But you just put that away, $25 a week. Boom, right? And then you save that, you'll be good money. So distinguishing between needs and wants, we already went through, right? Manage debt. Be aware of credit card debt. The amount of credit card, the amount of credit you have is how much money others are willing to lend you based on your ability and willingness to repay. Credit is an important part of our financial picture and can be an asset if used correctly, such as to purchase a home or a car. On the other hand, credit card debt is the number one obstacle to getting ahead financially. There are people who spend hours shopping for the best deal on a purchase, only to turn around, charge it up, and end up paying 50% or more of the purchase price in credit card interest. In general, credit cards are the most expensive way to borrow money. Unless it can be avoided in the event of an emergency, pay off credit card debt each month. Alternatively, avoid credit cards altogether and use a debit card. 8. Don't walk away from free money. Take full advantage of employee benefits. Employers offer a variety of employee benefits, such as a 401k plan matching contribution, flexible spending accounts, and medical dental insurance. Learn what benefits are available to you and take full advantage of them. They can be worth big bucks to you, and by accumulating funds for your retirement and or reducing your out of income expenses or your taxes. Step 9 or tip 9. Set up an IRA, a tax advantage way to save for retirement. If your employer doesn't have a retirement plan or you're contributing the maximum to your employer's plan, consider an IRA. There are a couple of different types of IRAs available, and each has different requirements and tax advantages. A traditional IRA offers tax deductible contributions and deferred tax growth of earnings, but withdrawals are taxed as received. While contributions to a Roth IRA are not deductible, the growth is tax deferred and distributions are received tax free at retirement. Check them out and see if you qualify and determine which type of IRA provides the best tax advantages to you. Step 10 or tip 10. I'm about to hop off here, y'all. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. So build a diversified investment portfolio. Whether it's in a 401k or an IRA or even a personal investment portfolio, spread your money among different types of assets, such as equity and fixed income investments, in order to balance your risk and return potential in a manner consistent with your risk and return or your risk tolerance and financial goals. Again, I've been talking about risk tolerance all the time. This is a presentation that was set up by the insurance company, not by me. Step 11 or tip 11. Purchase appropriate insurance coverage. It says, turn uncertainty into certainty. We purchase insurance to protect our dependents, our income, and our assets from financial loss. With insurance, we're able to transfer the risk of a substantial financial loss to an insurance company in return for payment of an affordable premium. The types of insurance available include property and casualty insurance, which indemnifies for losses to homes and cars as well as provide liability protection. Indemnify means to make whole. So if you take a financial loss from me running into you with my car, which you will, because me running into you with my car impairs your ability to earn an income, your biggest asset, because you're going to have to lay in the hospital for at least a couple hours, right? So somebody got to have to pay for that. Excuse me, life insurance, which protects dependents from loss of income in the event of a breadwinner's death and helps to pay cash needs that arise at death. Disability insurance, which replaces the income lost in the event of an accident or illness. Health insurance, which helps to cover the costs of medical care. Critical critical illness insurance, which provides a source of funds to help cover shit. Woo. Excuse me. Whew. Critical. Having a cough attack here. Critical illness insurance, which provides a source of funds to help cover the indirect costs that arise when a serious illness strikes, like cancer. And long-term care insurance. which helps to pay the costs of extended nursing home or assisted living care. So, long-term care insurance is important because people do things like have a stroke and they need to be in an assisted living facility for a long period of time, or they have diabetes and they get a foot chopped off and they have to be in an assisted living facility for a long period of time, right? And so long-term care insurance is important because in those situations those need to be paid for, and those happen, yeah, when you're older in your 60s, but they also happen to people when they do things like get into car accidents, and car accidents happen all the time. So the type and amount of insurance you need is best determined by an analysis of your personal and financial situation, as well as your financial goals and objectives. Don't buy more insurance than you need, but have enough insurance to protect your income, your dependents, and your assets. And tip 12, have a will. You need a will. If you have dependents, excuse me, if you have dependents, regardless of how much you own, oh shit, hold on. My damn car shut off on this. If you have dependents, regardless of how much you own, my damn radio. If you have dependents, regardless of how much you own, you need a will in order to distribute your estate according to your wishes, and name a guardian for minor children. Without a will, the laws of this state, uh, without a will, the laws of the state where you live will determine who gets what at your death, and the court will name a guardian for your minor children. So, if you don't have a will, even though you name somebody the godparent, you also need to name them the godparent in your will. That's actually a great purpose for term insurance, right? Because if I'm your son's godfather, you need to make a will that says, if I die, on a flight to Tahiti, you're going to take over as my son's caregiver, right? And so you're leaving that in the will. Okay, cool. It's also a good idea to have a term life insurance of a big amount so that you leave money to take care of this kid for at least the same lifestyle that you live. So if you made $50,000 a year, leave $1,000,000. That's $50,000 a year for 20 years. All right. So if the kid is 13 when I get him, and I only need $50,000 a year for 7 years, and I get out a bunch more, okay, consider it a thank you for taking your kid and not letting him go into the foster care system. Right? So, even if you don't have minor children, do your loved ones a favor. Draft a will and make your wishes known. You can manage your finances. It's by managing your finances that you write the story of your life. You are both the author and the story's principal character. Resolve to perform what you ought. Benjamin Franklin. So, that's going to be it for today, folks. Make sure you hit that like, drop a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're made aware every time I release new content. And as always, share, share, share. Lastly, to contribute to channel growth or to schedule an appointment with a licensed financial professional, the links are in the description of this video. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, wipe ass. Work in progress every day and see success. Wipe ass. Work in progress every day and see success. Wipe ass. Work in progress every day and see success. And remember, folks, when people challenge you, they don't challenge you to challenge you. But they challenge you to challenge you. Accept the challenge. Salute.